Gaza, a modern echo of the Holocaust? We often say never again. But what does that really mean? In a world governed by laws and declarations of human rights, why do people still suffer like this? Gaza, a narrow strip of land, today stands as a modern battleground not just of bombs and bullets, but of law, legitimacy, and morality. This is not merely a story of war. It is a story of rights denied, voices silenced, and the haunting parallels of history repeated. A century of conflict. The Israel-Palestine conflict didn't start with rockets or fences. It began with the Balfour Declaration in 1917, a promise to establish a Jewish homeland in a land already inhabited. In 1947, the United Nations proposed the partition plan accepted by Jewish leaders, but rejected by Palestinians who saw their ancestral lands divided without consent. The Declaration of Israel in 1948 brought war, displacement, and the beginning of what Palestinians call the Nakba catastrophe. Over 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes. And from this catastrophe emerged an unresolved conflict, still burning over 75 years later. Legal foundations, rights and violations. The horrors of World War II lulled the world to create safeguards for peace. The UN Charter outlaws wars of aggression. The Geneva Conventions protect civilians in wartime, and the Rome Statute allows for the prosecution of war crimes and genocide. Under these laws, no party, state or non-state, is above accountability. But when hospitals are bombed, schools shelled, and civilian life obliterated, where is the enforcement? The debate on Palestinian statehood. Is Palestine a state under international law? Over 130 UN members say yes. The Montevideo Convention outlines 4 criteria for statehood: a population, a territory, a government, and the capacity to engage with other states. Palestine meets them all. Yet recognition remains politicized, withheld by major powers due to strategic alliances and diplomatic caution. But recognition isn't charity. It's a right when the law says so. Civilian casualties and the laws of war. The principle of distinction in warfare is sacred. Distinguish between combatants and civilians. But in Gaza, entire families vanish under rubble. Article 8 of the Rome Statute criminalizes attacks, knowingly causing excessive harm to civilians. Israel defends its actions as military necessity. Critics point to disproportionality. Since 2014, the International Criminal Court has been investigating, but justice remains elusive. And every delay costs lives. Starvation is not accidental in Gaza. It is systemic. Since 2007, Israel has enforced a blockade that limits food, fuel, and medical supplies. In international law, Article 8.2b of the Rome Statute defines this as a war crime. The denial of humanitarian access has triggered what the UN calls a man-made catastrophe. Hospitals without power, families without water. This is not just siege warfare. It is slow violence. Historical parallels. Echoes of the Holocaust. Can Gaza be compared to the Holocaust? The contexts are different, but the patterns, isolation, starvation, dehumanization, ring hauntingly familiar. In Nazi-controlled ghettos, Jews were denied food, medical care, dignity. In Gaza, similar patterns emerge, not on the same scale, but with frightening symmetry. Genocide, as defined by Raphael Lemkin, includes not just killing, but destroying the cultural, political, and economic life of a group. And by that broader definition, Gaza raises urgent questions. Detainees and the rights of the imprisoned under the Geneva Conventions, prisoners of war are to be treated with humanity. But Palestinians, many arrested without charge or trial, are often denied these protections. Children in administrative detention, families torn apart. Human rights groups report systematic abuse, medical neglect, and psychological trauma. This is not justice. This is collective punishment, and it is unlawful under international law. Global responsibility, silence and complicity. The UN was created to protect peace. Chapter 7 of its charter empowers the Security Council to act. But Gaza has become a symbol of paralysis. Vetoes block resolutions. Aid is politicized. Borders remain sealed. In 2010, the International Court of Justice ruled that blocking humanitarian aid is illegal. And yet today, Gaza is a graveyard of international promises. Are we failing not just Gaza, but humanity itself? Beyond law, toward conscience. This is not about politics. It is about people. It is about what we choose to see or ignore. Legal definitions matter. So does morality. Whether we call it genocide or not, a humanitarian disaster is unfolding before our eyes. The laws are written. The violations are recorded. The question is, will we act? Or will we look back years from now and realize we let it happen again?